Good evening, everybody. You've got a nice number in. I don't know why, what you're all expecting. Hi, all. Am I the first you were, Alan? Andy looks like it. Hello, Steve Sandell. Hello, Ian Fincham. Stevie Manda. Hello, John C. Only here for the promised rant. I might be calm. Visualite, how are you? Mahimaj, hello. Tell me if I pronounced that wrong. David, hello. Paul, hello. Jim Stanton, hello. I'll get back to you this week, Jim. Jed Brown, hello. Imbri, hello. Andrew, hello. Ian Fincham, back again. Dave Kirby, Paul Hill, hope you're well. Visualite, Reggie, hello. Martin, hello. Speak to you tomorrow. Nick, hello. Kevin, hello. Nick Ansell, hello. Jorgen, hello. You get a mention tonight. John Grigg, hello. Jason, hello. Tim, hello. Hope you're well. John B, hello. Guernsey's in the house. Mark Manfield. Chris Camp from Middle Earth. Headmaster's in. See, I've got to behave myself now. The headmaster's in. Gaz, good evening. Carl, good evening. Stu B. Mr. Hamilton's in. Look at that. We've got a right little mix. Right. Evening, Mr. Carrigan. Right. I will say, if you don't like swearing, you probably need to tune out. If you're a bellend, you probably need to tune out. If you don't like me, you should tune out. I think that will cover all of the three exclusion zones. People who don't like me, people who don't like swearing, and just bellend. And trust me, you know, if you're a bellend, it ain't difficult. The signs are always there. Evening, Steve. Right, let's get into it, shall we? This is going to be a bit of a lecture, this one. We've done all the good stuff. This is just all the shit now. Oh yeah, and if you've got kids in the house, maybe it might be worthwhile. I can't not guarantee that I'm going to lose my shit. There we go. Right, I've got to learn how well this works first. Gaz is off. See you, Gaz. So let's just have a quick recap of what we have learned so far through this series. We've learned that we need good habits. So if we go right back to number one, I talked about we need to build good habits. There's tons of sites and alerts out there. We need to actually try and understand, if we want to be successful at this game, what we're trying to do and the reality of how often things happen. So if you remember in that opening one, I talked about 80-minute goals, and the reality is that they happen 39% of the time, not as if you spend your time on Twitter and TikTok and whatever else, 90% of the time, as some of you believe. We then moved into the areas that we need to be successful at this: strategy building, execution, staking, bets you shouldn't have, testing, record keeping. And I talked about marking yourself in those areas. In what I used to, as kids, we had top trump cards, top trump style. So you give yourself a mark now for all those areas, and you can add in other areas that you may think of. And then you revisit them every sort of 6 months and go, right, have I improved that? And the idea is just to improve everything by small percentages. If you learn to improve, rather than trying to make great big leaps, if you try and learn to take small steps, move things in manageable percentages, you'll get better all the way around. A big part of winning at this game is cutting out the mistakes. So chasing losses, tying yourself to goals, which is a really common one, tying yourself to beliefs, and that Dunning-Kruger effect that I talked about, where people think they know far more than they actually do. We talked about not understanding markets. So actually what happens in a market when we're actually trading, do we know what's going to happen? Do we know the gaps in that market are going to be good enough for us to make enough money on our winners that it'll override our losers? And I did a bit more about that last week when we built the system. We've got to stop focusing solely on money. This is when I start losing my rag. We've got to stop. We can get into thinking about process and actually doing things right. The money comes as a result of that. You've got to understand the risk-free reward. So very similar to the not understanding markets and not focusing solely on money. Obviously, you're going to risk X amount per bet, well, you should do, 1% for trading bank. But do the rewards cover that? So if you're only winning 0.2% every time, are you having enough winners to cover those losers and actually make it worthwhile? Again, watch number 4, we revisited that. Acting out of revenge, getting personal with markets. So obviously you're having a bad day, or VAR's chalked off 3 goals. The one thing I say to everybody is you'll see everything. If you do this long enough properly, you will see everything. So just recently we had a game that I was involved in, had 3, I think it was first half goals, 3 first half goals, all chalked off. Every single one was chalked off VAR. You see it. I've had a game where I laid over 3.5, and it was 0-0 on 89 minutes, and I lost 4 goals in Germany last season. That was finished 2-2. You'll see everything. You can't get personal with it. You just do your process, get on it. Lack of a trading plan. That again is a big one. People just dive around, don't really have a clue what they're doing. Again, they all sort of come together, too busy thinking about I can make money doing this, with actually plotting a way through it and doing it properly. Emotional intelligence, not getting too excited. You've got to have a good solid emotions around you. It isn't exciting being successful at this game. It can be very dull. It can be very up and down. We then moved into goal averages. So if you remember, I showed you that sheet showing you how often things happen. And then underneath that, we had another table moving into how that relates to actual returns in that market and how the odds affect them. So if you go back and watch that episode, I'm going to bring that sheet back up again later this evening, where when we look at over under, odds on over 2.5 or odds on home teams, how it actually affects those returns, and using our model numbers in FTS. Hang on a minute. So just that sort of stuff, how those odds. So I'm just recapping the stuff that we've done. And then last week we pulled all that stuff together. And I chose a market that I'm active in, and I showed you exactly what I do. So I showed you exactly how I built that system. I walked into using the odds and the heat map and told you why I use those. I decided on an execution method, which I shared with you, and basically gave you a system that if you've got FTS advanced, you can start with. Well, you could have started last week. I don't know whether anybody has used it. It'd be interesting if anybody puts in the comments whether they have used it since last week. But I showed you exactly how you could build that. And once you've done one and you learn to execute it, and you just repeat that on boring regularity, irrespective of a day, a week, a month's results, you'll start to make progress, and then you just apply it to other markets, and you can just rinse and repeat that process. And the great thing about trading is that you can scale your stakes up a bit quicker than fixed odds, because you're removing the losing runs, and the risk reward is a little bit better. You're not going on those. So, and there he is, Suggsy. So from that point, let me tell you about my week first. To lead into all this, Sugsy's a part of my week. General's a part of my week. But I'm going to start with somebody who I don't know. I'll start with the general. General sent me an email. He was concerned about me last week. He wasn't the only one. A couple of people did. And he basically said, "You look like shit." That was his exact words. "You look like shit." I may look like shit. I don't know. I've got George Clooney looks. And it's not. I've had a load of shit go on. People know that. My dog died recently. Sam's brother died earlier in the year. We've had other family news, which I won't go into, which is bad shit. And it does take its toll, but that's not what's really been taking its toll on me. I'm pretty good with stuff like that. I'm quite good in a crisis. I'm worried about Sam and I want to look after her. But I'm quite good at compartmentalising stuff. What drives me mad is you fucking wankers. That's what drives me mad. And if you don't like being called a wanker, and what you have to understand, now I'm talking to a camera, people go, "He's talking about me, he's calling me a wanker." I'm talking about small minorities of people, but nobody fucking reads anything. Everybody tells me they want to do it. Nobody fucking does anything properly. And I get fucking sick and tired and fucking bored of it, quite frankly. And this year, particularly the last 6 weeks, it has been fucking murderous. And I'll give you an example. When I just looked at my phone, I had a text there. I've got 2 or 3 groups that I work with. Blokes just sent me a text. The amount of questions that have been answered in that group from people not watching, listening, reading is mental. I literally had that 7:06 this afternoon. Jason's in here. He'll know what I'm talking about. It drives me fucking mental. Suggsy was talking to me at the weekend. I said I was going to bring this up in a pod. I'll do it now. I went to football with Suggsy. I've known Suggsy 12, 13 years now. Fucking idiot. I've called him an idiot numerous times. Been a right battle getting him to be profitable. He accepts that himself. He'll come on. He's perfectly. He can argue away. We went to the football. We watched the football. Having a beer afterwards, he went, that nuts and bolts, he said, has been brilliant. Really good. He said, really, really good. He said, you know, you're wasting your time, don't you? And I went, what do you mean? He said, well, they ain't going to listen, are they? He said, he said, you can't teach a lot of these people. He is one, by the way, but I have taught him. But it did really get me thinking. I sort of said right to that train, I thought, he's fucking right. I enjoy doing this. I'm enjoying doing this now. I love doing this. I love what I do. I love football training, but I'm passionate about it. I hope that it shows when people see me do it that I'm passionate about it. But I do fucking feel that I'm wasting my fucking time and time again, because people tell me they want to do it and their actions are completely fucking different. So this will be the last time I do anything like this free. It's all fucking out there. It's going to be on a playlist on YouTube forevermore until somebody else takes it down. And there's stuff in here that you can learn to do this fucking properly, and you start tonight, or fuck off and leave me alone. I don't mind people emailing me. I'm not saying don't email me, don't ask questions. What I'm saying is don't be a fucking bellend. So I'm going to give you an insight into my week. And that's why I look like shit, General. These fuckers, not anything else. All these people in here. I had an email threatening me this week. Not a physical threat. We have had them. But I had a guy who bought FTS Advanced. He may watch this. I don't care if he does. And that's where his fall down is, because he thinks I give a shit. Dave gives a shit. Dave wants to present FTS. I don't give a fucking flying fuck. So he sent an email. He's bought FTS Advanced and he wants the tools. He wants the heat map, the in-play tool, and the mega table. He wants them free. Because he feels that in a video, I misspoke, and as such, he was entitled to get them for nothing. So he'd set back a few emails with Kerry, and Kerry was getting tired of it. And I thought, I'm liking this. And yeah, I have had a fucking bad week, and I don't need you, mate. So I just emailed him, and I emailed Kerry and said, just give me his money back. I said, just give me his fucking money back, and that's done with it. So we gave him his money back. Got no problem with that. There you are. Everyone says, oh, I'll do it for the money. Have your 400 quid, mate. Fuck off. Leave me alone. Don't want any of that shit anymore. He then came back and he said, oh, yeah, thanks ever so much for the refund. I guess you did it so quickly, because you're basically saying you did it so quickly because this happens all the time. You know you're in the wrong. I've looked you up. I've had a look at you on the Bet Angel forum and everything. He said, if this was me, this is what I do. He said, I can write 2 reviews. He said, I can write a nice one. Oh, yeah, I dealt with FTS, brilliant, blah, blah, blah. Or I can write a bad one. He said, where I go, oh, I bought it. And then he tried to stitch me up for the tools. He obviously thought, clearly he doesn't know me. A lot of you do know me. He obviously thought that was going to have some sort of effect. So the effect it had was, fuck off, mate. I said, my dog's died. I've got other things going on. I couldn't give a flying fuck what you write about me. Fuck off and don't bother me. I haven't heard from him since. I don't know whether he's done a review. That's the sort of shit that we put up with. Those tools and the stuff I give you and the stuff I'm showing here free. This is 5 and odd hours of me talking whatever I've talked about. And if you think it's only taken 5 hours to get to this stage, 1, it's 17 years of experience. 2, it's a massive amount of work from Alistair for the data. 3, it's probably 2 weeks of work in my head of how we put it together. Then it's about a day's work preparing every slideshow, getting sheets ready to explain it to you, putting it all together. And I do all this for nothing. And I do it genuinely for you, whether you believe that or not, because there will be some people in here like Jason Reynolds, who are decent people, and others, James, Steve Elliott, who will take it and do something with it. I cannot help fuckers who want something for nothing, who want to do it all fucking quick as a fucking Billy O and expect get rich quick, this, that, and the other. I am telling you, if you fucking do this properly, as I've shown you just in this series, you will get to a stage where you don't have to work. And I do accept it is a small minority, but I just get so fucking annoyed at it. And I guess it's getting 53. I suggest it is other things going on in my life. And I look at it and go, and I don't want praise. I don't want that. I just want people to do it fucking properly. I just want people to take a step back and fucking do something for once in your life fucking properly. When you learn to play golf, and that was my grounding, you had to do things properly. You had to learn how to grip the club. You had to learn how to line up. You had to learn how to get the ball in the right place. You had to learn your posture. All before you hit the ball. You don't just pick it up and start whacking the fucking thing 250 yards. But everybody's got that mentality, and it's really becoming a plague in society with everything. But punting, it is massive. It is absolutely massive. And if I can, one bit of advice from this, stop it, take a step back. I'd rather people didn't bet. I mean, when I say my week, I've got a group that I've been doing something with, and I put a message, he might be in here, and I don't care again if he is. And I've been getting them to do it on test. So got a group of people, some of them are in here, a group of people. Can we just do this on test? Because I want to check that you're doing it right. Alistair wants to check that the bits he does are working properly. Can you please just do it on test? Okay, some people haven't. Some people have gone live, and I accept that that's going to happen. But then I got to the stage last week where I said to them, right, can we just now do live stakes, £5? I sent the message 3 times. I said, from this Friday, guys, I want everybody to do the same thing. They're following some bets of mine. Can you do it live? £5. I want to check that you're doing what I'm doing. So can you just put it live, but just do £5 stakes? 3 times I wrote that to a group of apparently intelligent people who are trying to portray me there. Put it live, and then I sent the third one Friday morning there within 10 minutes. So am I right? We're still in test mode, are we? Fuck me. How many fucking times do I have to write and say the same fucking thing, and you cannot be bothered to fucking read it? And I just get pissed off with it. And that's why, General, I had the fucking up. There we go. I haven't finished yet. You think, and that's dead right. Social media is a massive part of it. An instant. Everybody expects something. There's far too much entitlement. People expect everything for nothing. They're basically a bunch of wankers. And I'm not saying all you people in here are lovely because you've given up your evenings to be here. But those tools, getting back to the guy, the tool's free, and he kept on, fuck you. Those tools, I'm going to show you a sheet tonight that is on version 29. I paid £500 a day cash to have those built. £500 a day to have those built. Version 29. How many days' work do you think go into it to get to version 29? How many £500 do you think? I don't do it to rip you guys off. I do it because that's the cost of having these things built. The amount, I keep going about how much work Alistair does. People just think this stuff fucking pops up out of a blue, and then you get a day like today or yesterday where there's a game in Turkey that might be played, don't play. It all is massive work. It's massive. The operation to run all this is massive. I'm exactly the same as you. All I want at the end of it, I want a sheet with games on. That's what I want. But I know what goes in behind it, and some of it has to be funded. I can give it free. I hope he's watching. Right, where do we get to? On that, we've got some good stuff. So this is for the guys who think they can't do it, because there'll be people in here going, well, I can't do it. I had this one in Telegram yesterday, I think it was. I'll just read it to you because I like to blow my own trumpet, not at all. But no, just this shows you what can be done. I just wanted to say thank you for your work over the last 6-8 months in helping FTS users trade. I've been a member of 7 different trading sites before. I found your podcast and lost fortunes when I add it up. P.S. I love the rants. More, please, occasionally. From your podcast, I joined in some of your live trading sessions last season. For those of you who don't know, I did some live trading sessions. I'm going to do more this year. I'm going to do one this Saturday. I was not an FTS Advanced user, so he didn't understand a lot of what I was doing. That's fair enough. That makes sense. I took the plunge and joined your FTS Advanced service in March 2024. As you will see from my attached picture, which we'll get to in a minute, I am now profitable for the last 12 months, and that is the first time in over 10 years I've shown a profit over an annual period. So that 10 years, been fucking about multiple sites, 10 years. He's joined us in March, and he's got to an annual profit. He's wiped out. He had near losses. So from August to August, he's talking about from August 23 to Feb 24, he had losses of nearly £5,000. I was a member of 2 of your rivals in this period. I have no idea who they are or what they are. And I don't care. And along with the fees paid was well over 5k. I cannot thank you enough for your nonsense approach. The time you take to share bits with us, nuts and bolts series like. Simply fantastic resource for people at no cost. I hope to grow out what I do, and my next purchase will be some of the tools. I wonder if it's the same guy. Can't be, can it? But I'm currently happy with the less is more approach. I look forward to a future with FTS. I could not make either of the summer mitts I was working, but I can hope I can attend a future one and buy you a beer. I know you're busy. So sorry about your dogs, and I need to reply. Thank you. Thrungus attended one of my summer do's with hot cross buns. Good lad. And this is the picture he sent me. And that's it. So this is off his Betfair. I don't know where you get it from in Betfair. So he was in last August. They start, obviously, Betfair do this, start you on zero. He lost in August to September, won a bit back again. He has then had a nice steady decline down till January, I'm assuming. Won a little bit back. He's then, by the looks of it, had an absolute fucking disaster going into March. And that's when he's decided to join us. And his FTS journey then goes from this bit here, there, all the way up to there. So he was down here, nearly 5 grand losses. I don't know exactly what that figure would be, but let's say it's 4,750 plus the subs he was paying for 2 services. And I'm delighted with that. I'm not delighted, oh, look at me. I'm just delighted for him. I'm just delighted that this has stopped. This bit here, you've got to stop losing. And he's able to find something that suits it, Bamsy, that he can do. And if we go back and read what he says, utilising 1.5 first half goal trade. So what I showed you last night, which I've talked lots of times, and 2.5 trade with second half cover. I've got a sneaky feeling he might be using, he doesn't mention it, he might be using the newsletter perhaps to help him and then finding his own as well. I don't know that for fact. But that is what is possible. So, you know, you'll have bad periods, but that's what I love this. I love this for the fact that you guys should look at it. And I'm not digging out the other services, I don't care. And I'm not digging out people like Psychoff. But Psychoff posting a 5 grand or 20 grand or 30 grand screenshot doesn't help you. This does, because we give you the stuff to do it. I give you the selections in the newsletter to fucking do it. Look, it's brilliant. That's what you should look at. Absolutely fucking spot on. Then I had another one. And this one, I've taken a picture of the whole, because sometimes you get people who go, I bet it wasn't real. This is my WhatsApp yesterday and today. This is a guy who I do really like. Some of you will perhaps recognise him. And I've just shown you that I actually do bets for him now. I've known him about 5-6 years on FTS. Really nice guy. Got talking to him. He does things properly. Like to help him out. And some others people I do bets for, and he's put one bet today updated. I've thumbs up, so I've shown you that it's genuine, whether you believe it or not. I don't care anyway. And he's just put, Ian, I want to give you a bit of feedback on the nuts and bolts course over the summer and so far in brackets and the online trading seminar you did back in April. Between the two of them, I've learned a lot. Last season was my best ever trading. I made 21 points. I was fairly consistent, and this was pretty much all based off advice you've given out on pods, free, YouTube lives, free. And after taking in these 2 courses, I feel like I'm a beginner again. Just goes to show you never stop learning. Off the back of those, I have 3 trading systems running on test. While I continue with what was solid for me last season, previous versions of me would have jumped straight in with money, but I'm now happy to paper trade these stress-free and then pick them up, alter and retest if they show promise. The information given out for free is unreal. I didn't pay him for this, I promise you. I've never seen anyone break it down so simply. The gym I used to go to, well, not including me in that, don't do any of that, had in large writing on the wall that getting in shape was simple, not easy. And I think the same applies to trading. And you manage to break it down to look simple, which not many can do. So this is basically a big thanks, encouragement for that. You're massively helping people, and it's, you're a beer or 2. That's 2 people who want to buy me beer. People must think I'm an alcoholic. Look, water, machine. I was laying paving slabs this morning, nailed it. So they're things that you should take hope for. Now, the second one is a guy I just know who does it properly. Takes a step back, looks at it, and you said he tests things there, but he's also, I can still learn. I've not got it. I never think I'm going to let it. So what do you guys do from here? The guys who genuinely, and the point of my little ranty bit, I am exhausted with it. I'm exhausted with fucking bellends. I love doing FTS. I love doing live trading. I love doing this. I don't mind doing more of it. I cannot cope with fucking bellends any longer. And maybe it is an age thing. Maybe it is the things that have happened this year. Maybe it's COVID fucking remnants. I don't know. I cannot deal with fucking dickheads any fucking longer. So my time, as FTS kind of separates out to the product side that Dave and Kerry will manage and Alistair does the data, my time is going to be spent with people who want to do this fucking properly and show me that they want to do it properly, not tell me. I get loads of people, I've got the right mindset, I'm going to do it. The guy who fucking had the refund, I know, I've got time, I've got a great mindset, all that. Less is more. The first thing you've got to do is look at what you do and do the fucking right stuff. Bamsy, stuff that suits you, do less. Fucking apply yourselves. I wrote fucking YouTube. Tell me off if I say that. I don't know where fucking there. Apply yourselves and stick to something. Stop pissing about thinking it is get rich quick. It isn't. The money comes as a result of process of compounding and taking your time and building up. Accept that you will have fucking losers. They cannot be magically made to disappear. We all have losers. I have loads of losers. I had good day Saturday, good day Sunday, bad day yesterday. That's what happens. Bottom line, leave me fucking alone if you're a fucking idiot. Like and subscribe. I'll put that there to remind myself. I didn't say it last year, and I don't care. I don't, for the website again. I didn't say it last week, but I admire. Since these videos have gone up, there's 4 of them so far. I had a quick tally up this afternoon. There's over 7,000 views of the 4 videos. So by the time this one goes up, let's give it a couple of weeks, there'll be over 10,000 views. 50, 60 likes on a video. But what I just admire the pettiness of this. One person has, you give it a thumbs up or thumbs down or something, don't you? I don't actually do it myself, so I've no idea. But one person has disliked every single video within about 10 minutes of me doing it. So he's obviously hiding in here somewhere, because I think you've got to watch it to do it. But I just love that. I actually admire the pettiness of going on. Think, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to fucking dislike this video. That'll fucking show him. Yeah, you showed me, mate. Well done. I actually admire the pettiness of it. Can you please dislike this one, because I want to get the full house? It's fucking brilliant, isn't it? What a mind. What a mind to have. I'm going to go and I'm fucking disliking that. That's what I'm doing. Right, I was going to show you a sheet now. I've jumped ahead. Hold on a minute. Any questions so far? While we get into this, do I still look like shit, General? It's hot in here, I'll tell you that. Right. No questions. Good. Right, this is now we're going to learn whether people listen or not. Share screen. Right. Do you remember this sheet? I think it was in number 3. I've got nice people in here. Like and subscribe. I can't deal with the fucking idiots, but like and subscribe. Do you remember this sheet? I showed you this sheet. I think it was in number 3. So this is basically the goal averages. So it shows you how often things actually happen, and it shows you the returns on those markets. So when every game is selected, it's minus 5,600. But I showed you if you change that to 1.99 and that to 1.99 as an example. And if we put our little model number in here and go change that to 2.76 and above, all of a sudden now we wipe out that 5,000 and we get it in profit, and markets like lay under 1.5 suddenly become attractive, and back over 1.25 and lay under 2.5. Right. Listen very fucking carefully. And it is only if you are an FTS advanced member or database member. If you are, I'm going to give you this sheet for nothing. I'm not giving it. It's not ultimate. It's not if you're a beginner. It's not if you're data standard, because it doesn't work with any of them. If you are an FTS advanced member, I'm going to give you this sheet for free. All you will have to do, and I will before I send it out, is have a button on the front to update your data. I'll make a quick video on how to do that. It's right up to date at the minute. Old Eagle Eyes Master pulled me up last week, so I've missed a game off one of them sheets. Or there, it's bang up to date to the Vasco da Gama game. I'll keep it bang up to date, and then I will give it to FTS advanced members. FOC, you can have it because I think it'll help you. But I'm going away on the weekend. I'm going to take Sam away. I'm going to be dead honest. I'm going to put my phone in a safe. I'm going to turn it off. I want fuck all to do with anybody for a week. I just want me and Sam to have a bit of time, get over all the shit we've been through, give her a good week. So I'm going to be back round about the 11th, 12th of September. If you want this sheet, and if you don't follow these instructions, you ain't fucking getting it. Email with nuts and bolts sheet in the title to ian@ftsincome.co.uk saying your FTS username. I'm an FTS data advanced member. Please, can I have that sheet? And when I get back, I will distribute it to the people who have followed that process. If you haven't followed that process, you can go fuck yourself. You ain't having it. Simple as that. I don't want Kerry bombarded with fucking ignorant emails. I don't want to have to fathom out what you're after. It's really simple. Email Ian at ftsincome.co.uk. Nuts and bolts sheet as the title. Include your FTS username so I can check you're an FTS Data Advanced member, and I will send you back this sheet fully up to date and a link to a video in how to update it and operate it. So if you want it, you can have it for nothing. Any questions on that? There's people writing the email right now. I won't get to it till the end of the second week of the international break. You're not getting it tomorrow. Got other stuff to do. And that's all in there, and it'll be exactly that, and you'll be able to do all that, and it tells you the top leagues and everything right through. I've got second half goals. I might even add second half goals plus 2 in there. So I'm going to give you that because I do think that'll help people. Right, for those of you, hang on a minute, we'll stop sharing. Right, well, you just saw me throw a sheet up. Right, here we go. Present. Good evening, Ian. Hope you're well. Jamie, I'm good as gold, son. I'm a machine. Got it all off. I've got a cleansing. I've got a load of cleansing off me. Got rid of, as you said, we got rid of all the cunts. They've all gone. Only got the good people. The numbers have gone down. Lovely. Right. What's 1.5 speed? Dave does that. I can't be doing with that 1.5. I like to save the atmosphere. Right. This sheet isn't free. This is for people, and I don't even know whether I'm going to do this. I'm going to talk about it, and then it will be what the reaction to it is. This is a sheet I use. So basically, it's FTS data sheet. It's got a few of my systems on. It's got 2 sets of prices. It's got some odds movement on there. It's got all the second half goal stuff. So if we filter something, then it gives us our second half goal numbers. There you see 39.84. So if I just do one quickly, for example, if we say, right, how many 80-minute goals are there on 0-0? So we select 0-0. Alistair's looking at this. Okay, what's this now he's got? And we've got 38%. See, 0-0, it goes to 38%, 2.61. Right, so then I've got some analysis sheets built onto this. So, for example, I can select a league and I can select a minute. So let's say here I'm looking at Spanish Primera Division. It's got to the 32nd minute. It's 1-0 or 0-1. And I can put in over 2.5 odds, so I could have that whatever I want, and I can put in my Poisson, and I can put in whether the pre-match odds drifted or moved, and then I can hit this button here, and pretty quickly, and when you've only got one sheet open, it's a lot quicker. Hopefully you can see that. If not, you'll have to make it bigger because I can't make that bigger. It basically tells me what am I searching. I'm searching in the Spanish Primera. I'm searching 32 minutes. I'm searching over 2.5 odds on. I'm searching plus on this. It tells me how many games I've got in that filter, 96. It says how many of those games had 1 goal by the 32nd minute, and that minute you can put whatever you want in there, 1 to 90. How many then had another first half goal? So if we want to trade for another for late first half goal, we can. 44% of them did, 2.25. I use it for quite a bit of that. Additional goal is 88.89. So how many went over 1.5, how many went over 2.5, and how many games had a late goal. And it breaks it all down into number of games and percentages. And I can change that minute. I can change that league. I can go, you have to type the minute in. We could have a drop down box, but it would be 90, 34. And we can have Spanish Primera, and I can change it to Italian Serie A. Well, let's change it to even lower. Let's go 15, for example. And I can hit run analysis. And it does exactly the same. And you can see there. So Italian Serie A, when we've got this, and the odds have been backed in, 97.83% of games have another goal, 1.02. Back over 1.5, it will be about 1.06, 1.07. It was sexy, yes. So I've got it that you can do it by any minute, and then I've got it that you can do it by half-time scores. So you can, in the second half, you could go, this game was 2-0 at half-time. It's now on the 65th minute in German Bundesliga, and click that. And it does exactly the same. This is a bit of a sales pitch, this, I'm not going to lie. And that tells you there's 13 games that were 2-0 in half-time in the German Bundesliga with that. And 84% of them had a goal after 65 minutes. So it's really quick, tells me instantly. Don't have to, with the current in-play tool, obviously you've got to run 20,000 games. This does it all with code. Runs it, does it. So you can actually sit there and go, right, it's 65 minutes, it's 1-0, blah, 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 and put it in, and it does that for you. So that's sheet 1. Like it? I love it. Sheet 2 is this one here, which I'll just close that a minute, which again is the FTS Advanced Database. And what this does is this updates, so I can update it with the latest results sheet, and then I bring in the FTS Advanced pre-match. So there's only 2 games today, but you'll see that I've imported the 2 games at the bottom here. So I've got Mallorca and Rayo Vallecano. So if I just click that button and show all columns, click OK. I'm just going to close that again. You'll see I've got all the columns of the FTS Advanced Database, go right through, but I've got the odds for the games coming up tonight. Or Mallorca's been played, but Barcelona, Rayo Vallecano coming up. I haven't got any returns for them, but what I can do is analyze those games. So I've got this box here, and I click Analytics Overlay. I then can say, do I want to see all columns? No, I just want to see my analysis columns. I'm giving you a very rough thing. There, wait a minute, we'll get to that Mahimaj there. And this gives me this little box which floats over the top. I can move it about there. And I can start to analyse these upcoming games in one click. So for those of you who've seen home games, for example, on Ultimate, I can do it here. So we've got Mallorca priced this evening against Seville. They were 2.46. I'd literally just highlight the odds of that column. So any upcoming game, I can highlight any odds that I want. It will highlight home odds, and I can click team. And a box throws up, and I go, so you're looking at Mallorca, Team Mallorca. The odds bracket that we're looking at is between 2.26 and 2.5. They've played 9 games. They've only won 3 of them. Profit and loss is minus 2.11 if you back them. And you can click through. Obviously, when we've only got 2 games, I'm limited what I can show you. But if I go to under 2.5 at 1.6, I can do exactly the same. I can look at it on a team level. So Mallorca, when under 2.5, is priced 1.6. 32 games. So there you go. There's a good example. Mallorca there, 32 games where under 2.5 was between 1.51 and 1.75 when Mallorca at home. 32 games, 24 winners, 75. The implied odds is 1.3. The profit and loss is 5.66. I've got a sneaky feeling that game was 0-0 at half time. I don't know what it is now. Let's just have a quick look. I'm never going to be a man who makes sexy videos, by the way. 0-0, 79 minutes. There you go. So there would be a prime example of the sort of thing that you would use it for, trading unders there or backing unders and leaving it. So you can do it by that. We can do it by league, or we can do it by the XG numbers. So if we look at, I mean, these are terrible numbers here, but if we look at this game here in Spain, so Rayo Vallecano, Barcelona, has got a season match XG of 3.19. I can say, right, I want to look at the over 2.5 market in Spain when they're there. So I've just got a whole list of markets that I can do over 2.5 back. I click the odds and it goes and finds the odds bracket that this game is. It's gone along here and said they're 1.96. They're between 1.76 and 2. And I can click it by league or team. We'll do league just because you won't get a lot of team. And I click XG, and it basically goes now and is saying in Spain, when we've got this XG and that odds bracket, what is it? And there's 37 games and it's 16 and there's 43, 2.31. You'd lost 7 points back in there. So it's a really, really sophisticated, decent trading tool. Of course, then let's take, I mean, we've only got 2 games. You take a Saturday when you've got 100 games. It's a lot of clicking, a lot of cells. Still use it, very good. But I thought I need to take it another step further. So we moved into building day sheet. So in effect, what you can do now is set it up what you want it to look at. So you can ask it whether you want to look at XG or whether you want it to look at league, team, whatever. What number of games, what profit you'd be looking for. Only 2 games that won't do anything. I click do scan, and it will scan all 100 fixtures for whatever you've got, and it will give you a report that you could just use as your trading plan. I wasn't going to share this sheet because I thought it's too complicated. But a couple of people, when I've shown it in videos on Saturdays, as I've sort of built it out, sort of said, how do we get our hands on that sheet? The two really go together because they're what I use. They aren't going to be cheap. I'm not going to lie. A lot of work gone into them. But if people are serious, and I mean serious, and I get enough interest, I will put it together as a package because I need to make a load of videos when it's put. I'm not going to make a load of videos in the hope that somebody wants it. I've given you a very, very brief overview, and it won't be now. It will be again when I get back and into the sort of in between the two international breaks. We'll be looking into October because I'd want to do it really properly. I'm not looking for tons of people, but if I can get 8-10 people who don't mind paying a few quid for something decent, I will put a package together around this with videos, and I'll teach you how to use it. I'll give you some of my presets and I'll help you use it, and it will stop you fucking pestering me for it. But I'm not doing it wide. It's not going to go on. It's not going on the website as a tool for sale because it would just be too much work for me telling people how to use it and answering queries on it. But that's 2 sheets that I've just shown you there. I will put together if there's enough interest. If there's not enough interest, I'm not doing it for one. It'll got to be worth my time to do it, to make the videos, put it there, and I'll take a little group forward with it if they want to. That one's free. You don't have to do anything. Remember it. If that does interest people, again, drop an email in. Just say that you're interested. Drop it to Ian at FTS Income. I will pick them up when I'm back, and I'll make a decision, and I'll get in touch with you. But bear in mind, I'm on version 29, so that's how many days' work has gone into it, minimum, at £500 a day, and all the other work that's gone into it. So they're not going to be something that I'm giving away for nothing. I just want to make people vastly aware of that before we start, but I will do it properly where you've got a full package, and I will help you use it. Right, that is nuts and bolts. I'm sorry if people thought there's going to be more losing their shit. I'm a nice guy, really. I just fucking can't stand bellends anymore. I am, and I'm never going to make nice, sexy videos with fucking swipe cards and sitting in front of a camera talking to it. The stuff I make is me using stuff that I use, and I try and show you how to use it. Right, any questions before I sign off and fucking leave you all to go and do your own thing? No, good. They're all annoyed. Okay, right. Thank you ever so much for watching FTS Nuts and Bolts. I've created a playlist on the YouTube channel. I've created a playlist on the YouTube channel. You can go to YouTube FTS playlist. It's got the 5 videos in order. I do think you should all repeat them back. Is there going to be a political podcast now that it's been 50 days? I didn't know it had been 50 days. I've been tied up. Absolute shit show today. So yes, there will be one probably before I go away. Terrible, isn't it? Absolutely fucking terrible, these people. All of them. But yeah, we'll get to that. We won't do that. That's that. I will be doing a couple of pods before I go. I will be going away end of Sunday. And I will be back, and I am locking my phone away. I won't be talking to anybody. Thank you all for joining in. I wouldn't do these if you didn't come in. Did I bury someone? I'd like to bury a few under the paving Snapson. I will see you. I'm going to be doing live trading. So the first live trading of the season will be Saturday afternoon. I'll put the link in the Telegram room and in the newsletter when I've looked at the fixtures. But I'm going to do one of those before we go. So do join me if you're about Saturday afternoon. We'll do a bit of live trading. I'm going to build a trading list. We'll focus on what I've talked about here. First half 1.5s, over 2.5s. So if you're about Saturday afternoon, join me and we'll do it. Thank you all for watching. I'll see some of you Saturday. Have a lovely rest of the week. You're all lovely people. No one in here is a wanker. And I'll see you all later.